Hi everyone, so welcome back to part 2 of the Soothing the Creative Soul series and the bath and the importance of water and relaxing. So before we go on to part 2, I wanted to announce the winner of this Tim Coffey fabric covered junk journal that I made in the last episode about journaling. And it says my story, and I bet you thought I forgot all about announcing the winner, but I did not. And I'm very happy to announce that the winner for this journal is Yolanda, who's known as Yoli Bean here on YouTube. So I'm really happy to send this to her, because Yoli has been one of those people that has inspired me over the years, and it's nice to give something back. So I'm so happy that she's the winner. So yay, Yoli. So this is for you. So watch your mail. This will be coming to you soon. On to part 2. Now, because we used some Epsom salts in part 1, making the salt scrub, you're bound to have a little bit extra. And I thought, I was inspired by this Somerset Life. Once again, you know me in Somerset Life. And it says here, a seed packet surprise. And they have it on the cover here, this little packet. And so here's theirs inside here. You see the one with the bird there and the stitching and so on. So we're going to go ahead and make that. But instead of putting seeds inside, we're going to make some bath salts for a gift. So what you'll need for this, of course, are your Epsom salts. I've got a stamp that says Bloom, some dried flowers. I tend to use these edible blossoms from Epicure. You can use any dried flowers. It's something you've dried from your garden or anything. Some essential oil in whatever scent you want, and a small bowl and spoon to mix it in. And try to mix it in a glass bowl or ceramic bowl so that if it's plastic, I think the plastic will absorb the scent of the essential oils, and it might be hard to wash that out. I'm also going to use, but it is not necessary, these empty tea bag containers. So these are just like a tea bag, and there's a little opening here, as you can see, there. And then you close them with a little bit of heat. So I'm going to use my ribbon iron and seal that closed. One of those little quilting irons would be perfect. So you can see that. So we'll put our stuff inside of there. And then just some ephemera. And my nicer ephemera, not the ones I use for my junk journals, I keep in this big tin. So I've got all kinds of stuff in here. So I'll use an image from here for the front of my bath salts. So let's get started. I also forgot to mention that you're going to need some vellum. I think I'm going to use these 2 sheets here. So the first thing we're going to do is carefully open up our seed packet, because we're going to use this as a template to make a seed packet. You can also use parchment paper or wax paper or any paper that's going to give that kind of neat feel to it. Okay, so there you go. You have your seed packet. It almost looks just like an envelope. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace that on top of the vellum. I managed to get 2 templates per 1 sheet of vellum. So what I did is I just folded it in half, just similar as you would to a card, and the seed packet fit perfectly. So the next thing you're going to want to do is take your bone folder, whether you're using vellum or parchment paper or wax paper, and just kind of crease along the fold lines there. So the next thing you're going to do is open it all up again, and then just kind of crinkle it all up carefully, because this paper kind of rips a little bit. And then smooth it out. And then take some distress ink. I'm using Vintage Photo. And then just kind of grunge up the whole package on the one side, which will be your outside pack. So this side with the 3 little flaps on it is your front piece right here. So Next thing we're going to do is take some cheesecloth. I picked up a big package like this here. It's huge for my grocery store, and it was only $1 something, and I mean there's tons in there. So just take one piece, a little bit smaller than the front of your seed packet. So I'm just going to cut this down. It's a little bit too big. And that's going to go right like so. Next thing you're going to do is put some kind of image on the front. They had birds and stuff, but because this is not going to be for the garden, I had these really, really cool stickers. I've had them forever, and I never knew what I was going to do with them. So there's this one, and then there's also this other image here of this girl. So I'm just going to take that little sticker, and we're just going to glue her right down and make sure she's really, really stuck on there. Then I'm going to take some vintage photo and just kind of brush it around the cheesecloth a little bit. It's going to fray it, and that's exactly what we want to happen. So there, we've got our little angel sitting on the front with the frayed cheesecloth. Next, you're going to take your ATG gun and just kind of temporarily adhere this cheesecloth down to the front of the seed packet. And the reason I say temporarily here, because we're going to stitch this image down. So at this point, you can either use your sewing machine or just hand sew it, but I'm going to use my Sew Easy. I heard about the Sew Easy from Drew at Card of My Eye here on YouTube, and so it comes with a mat here, and then you get all these different stitch heads. This one's the zigzag one, and then there's a place here, they give you needles, and they're stored right here, so it's quite easy. Everything's right there, and there's all kinds of coordinating thread. So I'm using this sort of medium brown one. Because this is cheesecloth, I'm going to flip it over and do it on this side. So all you have to do literally is just run this down like so, and down the other side, and you've got your stitch marks. I hope you can see that. Oh, that's too far away. Let the camera focus. There. You've got your stitch marks there. And then we're simply going to thread our thread and go up and down and do a zigzag on both sides. And I just found it was easier because you can't really see the stitch marks through the cheesecloth on this side. So we'll go ahead and stitch that up. So I just finished my stitching, as you can see. So it's zigzag down both sides. So the next thing we're going to do now is I'm just going to snip off these knotted ends. I knotted the ends really well so it won't come undone. And then we're just going to glue this all up together. So that's the side and that's the top. So I'll just get this all glued. I'm just going to use my ATG gun and just leave the top open. For I think, you know what, I'm going to leave that side open because it'll be much easier to tuck things into that. So just glue the two sides shut. There. So we've got the starts of our seed packet. You see how that looks just like a seed pack. So I'm going to put this aside for a second, and I'm going to take my bowl and I'm going to add a little bit of Epsom salt. Add a bit in. I would say probably a tablespoon or two, so I'll do 2 at a time. Add in a little bit of these flowers. just a little bit, and then my essential oils. So just, it's probably best to add less than more because sometimes these oils can be quite strong. So a few drops of those, and just stir that all up and get it really, really well blended. Now at this point, if you don't have those tea bag things, then you could go right ahead and pop that into your package just like that. So I've got one of my tea bags right here. So I'll just open it up and fill it up with some of this yummy bath salt. The beauty of these tea bag things for the bath is you can just toss the tea bag into the bathtub, and you're not going to have, if you have a jacuzzi or something like that, you're not going to have all these little flower petals clogging your jets. Oh, it smells so good. What a nice gift that would be to get. So you have to hold your bag up like this, and you have to turn the ribbon iron upside down. You know what else would work? A flat iron for your hair. Anything that's just going to apply some heat to, that just seals it so quickly. Just applies a little bit of heat to the end of this little tea bag, and it just seals it up really nicely. This is so awesome. Now this one, make sure it's all sealed here. Check it first. Yep, it's all sealed in there. So let's see if we can get two of those little bags in there. I think we can. Yep, perfecto. Perfect. That's a much nicer gift instead of one. And the smell is incredible. Okay, so we'll just close this up with the ATG gun. Seal that closed. There. So now all that's left to do is to just make a bit of a label so that the recipient knows what's in here. Oh my goodness, it smells so, 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 so good. Okay, so go on to make my label. Okay, I'm going to use this Bloom stamp. I got this at Michael's in the $1.50 bin. And some black soot distress ink, just because I'm too lazy to go in the other room and get my other ink. But this will work just fine. So I'm just going to stamp Bloom on this tag. There, just like so. And then I might spritz this with some Glimmer Mist. I think that is what I will do. Kind of a pretty pinky color. So what I went on to do after I stamped my tag with the black distress ink and the word Bloom, I sprayed it with pink bubble gum Glimmer Mist. And then I went around the edges and over the top a bit with Vintage Photo Distress ink. On the back, I wrote with a black ultrafine Sharpie, drop one bag into a steamy hot bath. Relax, inhale, exhale. And then I put, So the last thing I'm going to do now is attach my tag to my little bag here. So I've got this really pretty peachy colored lace that kind of matches that, and then just some basic twine. I'm just going to cut the twine, and I want to distress this twine a little bit, so I'm just going to take the Vintage Photo ink that's left on there, put my twine underneath the applicator and just pull it so that it adds some of that Vintage Photo to the twine. It's a great way to color your strings and ribbons and stuff. That way you're using every little bit of your ink. There. So we've got that. I might even do a little bit on this peachy tag too. It's just too bright and too new looking for me. There. So We'll just take both of these and poke them through the tag hole, like so, and we'll just tie it around our little gift here. Just like that. And then save the rest for another package. And then trim the ends. There you go. What a neat gift, just taking a seed packet and using that shape. And again, you don't have to use this just for bubble bath. It's just because the theme of this episode was about baths. But you could use this for seeds or any kinds of seeds that you are growing in your own garden that you collect and you'd like to give to a neighbor or a friend. This would be a great way. You could still use the same sticker bloom, and you might want to use a flower or a bird or a butterfly or whatever you can think of on your packet. I like the use of the vellum because it's a bit see-through. It looks kind of neat. So there you have it, a little seed packet full of bubbles. So please remember, try to take a bath, not to be clean, but for the pure relaxation of it. And we'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.